Tonight on The Goat Show.
It's not as cut and dry, bro.
So we're canceling our next episode for the Tide Pod Challenge.
No, it's imperialism.
What countries do you want to join the great empire, the North American colonies?
Bro, I want the U.S. to do what Genghis Khan never could.
Welcome to The Goat Show, the show where we celebrate and debate all things great. I am joined by my co-hosts, Fresh and Deezy. Gentlemen, how you doing today? Man, have we got a show today? We're going to be talking about taking over the world, which I am a big fan of. The United States, the new imperialism. We'll get into it in a second, but Fresh, before we do, what do the young dictators out there need to do?
You have to like. You got to hit the bell. You got to comment. You got to send it to your mom, your aunt, your uncle.
Send it to the country that you want to conquer. Anyone in that country that you want to conquer and make a part of the United States, send it to them.
All hail the Goat Show.
All hail the North American Empire is what I got to say. All right, listen, let's get into it. So, for anybody who doesn't know, apparently the United States is taking over the entire planet. And not like we in the past have done, where it's like, oh, we're just minding our own business, but we got our CIA doing color revolutions, and we got our State Department doing negotiations behind the scenes and all that. No, dang it, we living in Trump's North America, all right, and we are going straight imperialist up in here, old school, like 1700s, 1600s imperialism is back, baby, and I'm for it. What do you guys think?
The good old bait and switch, the fucking pick me so we can get rid of the globalists. And then they pick them, and then they're like, psych, I want the globe.
No, this isn't globalism. This is different. This is imperialism.
Well, he hasn't overreached from North America at this point, right? It's Greenland, the Panama Canal.
Yeah, fuck it. Give us Greenland, dude. Who's paying the most money to Greenland?
The U.S. pays Denmark to take care of it in order to be able to basically do whatever they want over there.
Okay, well, hold on a second. For the people watching, let me just recap what's the story so far about this whole deal. So many, I guess, in Trump's first term, he was like, it felt like jokes. It just felt like hard jokes, where he was like, hey, I'm going to take over Greenland, and we're going to make it America, and we're going to, put a Trump Tower on Greenland or whatever. He said, put a little meme post. Okay. Now fast forward a second term, again, during the campaign, he's like, Canada can be the 51st state, har, we having a good laugh and all this kind of stuff. But as of this recording, 2 days ago, Trump did a press conference, and he ain't joking no more. All right. He's saying he's going to use economic force to conquer North America. So what does that mean? That means, like you guys are saying just now, we taking Greenland, baby. We taking the Panama Canal. All right. That canal's ours. All right. We're going to rebuild that canal. All right. We're taking Canada and Mexico.
At least the Gulf. It's the Gulf of America now, motherfucker.
To be fair, America owns the Gulf. Right now, America owns the Gulf. So he just wants it to be recognized that, no, motherfucker, this is the American Gulf.
He's right.
Yo, we sold the Panama Canal for what? Like $100,000 or some shit like that? Grok, where you at, Grok? Give us the Panama Canal back. We deserve it. We built it. It was Americans that went and died to build that shit.
Yeah. Man, we taking it all. I don't want to hear nothing. And we're taking Canada. All right, Fresh?
What I really think is this is all about, though, to like, all jokes aside, I think he's just trying to come out with the jokes and whatever to get everybody thinking and talking about it, so that when he's like, okay, but on a serious note, we're doing like a North American Union, I think that it's going to be taken way more seriously, because it's going to, like, it might not look like a serious option if you just present the North American Union right now. But if everybody thinks you're going to conquer the world or conquer North America, and then you're like, you know what? Why don't we just have a union? People are going to be like, you know what? That doesn't sound like that bad of an idea.
Yo, if Trump flips the switch, by the way, hold on, I want to fact check myself. The Panama Canal used to be said to have sold for $1, but it says that the United States did not sell for a monetary amount, which is misunderstood. It was the treaties outlined a process for gradual transfer of control over the Panama Canal from the United States to Panama. The treaties included no direct financial transaction, but it did involve financial aid and other forms of support to ensure Panama's capability to manage the canal. So not only did we give it away, we gave financial aid to make sure that this shit can run. Literally, give it back. It's the U.S. It should be called the Canal of the the Canal of the North of the Americas.
And Panama still fucked up. Remember they had that blockage or whatever where they couldn't get those ships through? It's ridiculous. All right, so it's settled. We are taking Panama.
The Evergreen? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, wasn't there like some big ship that can, or there's some kind of blockage or something?
It got stuck like sideways or some shit.
Yeah, the Evergreen is the Evergreen.
Fucking ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, I mean, they can't even manage it properly, and we gave them aid. It's done. We're taking it back.
On the Gulf of Mexico thing, I think it's kind of like renaming a stadium. We're still going to call it the Gulf of Mexico, even if you rename it to the Gulf of America, because that's what it's known as, right? It's been 500 years, like way before America. It was the Gulf of Mexico.
Well, I mean, but even then, I'm like, times change, man.
Well, that's only because Texas and all of that fucking territory was Mexico at one point. So technically, it was the Gulf of Mexico. And then now the United States owns half that Gulf. So more than half. But we also probably pay the most to keep upkeep on the ports and all that bullshit. So fuck it.
I'm not against the rename. Again, like I'm saying, it's just don't be surprised if it takes 100 years or more for people to start calling it. Like everybody who's alive now has to die before everybody starts calling it the Gulf of America or whatever.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
It should be called the American Gulf. That sounds better than the Gulf of America. The American Gulf.
Yeah, the American Gulf. I agree.
We're gonna start a petition.
No, man, we ain't sharing that shit. Gulf of America. Listen, Mexicans, it's ours. All right, Gulf of America. There you go. And
Did you see that the Mexican president said that America should be called Mexican America? Because we want to call the Gulf of Mexico.
Bro, do they not understand how fucking stupid they are? He's not the bear to poke.
listen, Scheinbaum, Mexico's ours too. I said it. We taking Mexico too.
If we wanted it, it would be for sure. Sorry to say that, Mexico. You guys are hard. You guys are hard workers, but I don't think you can take us in the battlefield. I'm just saying.
Bro, you have way more likelihood taking Mexico than Canada. I promise you.
You think so? Mexico's got cartel, super ops.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter, bro.
You think Mexicans will fight harder than Canadians, or Canadians will fight harder than Mexicans?
Bro, again, I want you to go through history. Every world war, everything. You motherfuckers go start shit. Go fucking. And then you're like, baby bro, we're in trouble. And we're like, don't worry, we're going to send 50 guys. And we send 50 guys to clean it up. 5 to each battlefield.
Hold on now.
Bro, you have 38 million people in your country. We have 380 million people.
It doesn't matter.
We're gonna smash your ass,
Good
bro.
luck.
We're gonna
Good luck.
spank you.
Good luck.
I agree with Deezy, man. We got more people.
That includes women and children, bro.
Good luck.
And your military. Our military is like 20% of your population.
Good luck.
Just the people that are currently enlisted.
Good luck.
We got an army of cybernetic bald eagle drones that are going to come down on your moose and take you out.
Clones are made in Canada, and our moose riding Mounties are gonna fuck you up. Don't fuck with us, bro. Canada's always the cleanup crew. We come in when you guys can't handle it, and we clean it up. It's okay. It's okay. Listen, because it's not gonna happen. It's just gonna be the North American Union, guys. Don't get your panties in a bunch. We're not gonna fight.
Okay, Deezy. I mean, do we even want these countries, Deezy? Do we even need them? Like, why do we even want them anyway? I don't even want them anymore.
You talked about it when Trump said it in his fucking what's the name of that shit? My brain is farting off. Trump said it in the fucking press conference. He said that if Canada needs the United States subsidies and money to survive as a country, then they should just be a part of the United States.
The United States doesn't subsidize Canada, brother.
He was saying 100 millis, 300 millis.
No. He doesn't know the difference between him buying stuff from us. You guys buy soft lumber, which you don't have. So, and we make a profit off of that fucking lumber to the tune of $300 million or whatever, or the industry is worth that, but it's not a fucking subsidy. You guys don't give us anything for free. Like, that is crazy. He's fucking insane for saying that.
Well, I guess the question is so you don't take foreign. Canada's not. You're saying Canada does not take foreign aid from the United States. We're engaged in trade.
No, we don't take subsidies from the U.S. at all.
Okay, you might need to check on that, Deezy. But if that's the case, I mean, sure. Like from what I understand in this press conference that Trump gave is that him and Trudeau met, the former prime minister, which is nice. They met, and Trump was saying, "We don't need your shit. We ain't need your cars. We ain't need none of this stuff. And we pay you all this money for that. And if we didn't pay you that money and we didn't take that stuff from Canada, what would happen to Canada?" And Trudeau basically said we would be insolvent. We would collapse economically. So then Trump was like, "Well, then why don't you just become a state and then we'll just give you funds federally," which that is weird to me. Okay, so let's get into this whole thing.
Canada can barely afford to be Canada right now. Canada as a whole, our richest province is poorer than your poorest state.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. What is that? Just poor?
That's per capita.
Per capita. But is that just poor economic policy of the last few years, or has it kind of been that way for a long time?
I'm pretty sure we've always been poorer than you guys, bro.
That's socialism, my friend. That's what that is.
Yeah, like we're a social, and this is the other thing is we're a socialist country, and I don't see a way that we can melt because again, like, well, we're gonna give up healthcare. Do you understand that? Even though me as somebody who's like I'm a free thinker, I understand that it's probably not the best way to have healthcare. Free healthcare, and only free healthcare, not a good idea. So not everybody thinks like that. A lot of Canadians are like really proud. Oh, but we have free healthcare and we don't have guns. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, they're really proud of that. So how do they assimilate to be Americans? There's only one province that would be like maybe two that are like, oh, cool, uh, already kind of American.
Yeah, I mean, the traditional thing throughout history with empires is that you don't make everybody the one thing. I mean, even like the Roman Empire or Alexander the Great or whatever. It was always that, okay, like you pay fealty to the king, you keep your country, you do what you want, you have your own laws and your own whatever things, but all you got to do is pay that tribute and we're good. And kneel before the emperor of whatever the central state is, and then that's about it. And which is basically what the United States already is for most of the world. Like that's what people do around the world. So I don't really know what this. I mean, they're saying that it's defense. That if we can control Greenland and we can control the Panama Canal and this entire northern hemisphere and have it be directly under the United States government, that we're going to be safer, or we're going to be able to have defense, and that Canada is being influenced by China, I think is kind of one of the big arguments in Mexico as well. So that I can understand, but I mean, that problem can be solved, I feel like, in different in other ways. Like why that's one thing with this whole thing I don't understand. Is like, why do we need to take it over and turn it into part of the United States at all? Like, why don't we just implement certain policies that allow us to be able to, do what we've always done, which is influence other countries?
In like the at least like before 2001, I used to be able to go to the States with just a license, just an ID of any kind. Like I didn't have to have a passport. And depending where you're crossing, they don't even care. You just fucking flash it like this. They're like, oh, you have an ID? Keep it going. Nobody gave a fuck, right? And like,
Even after 2001.
yeah, but like at least up until 2001, and then 2001, weird shit, like things started changing slowly. And now I need a passport at Niagara Falls. Like that's weird to me. I used to be able to just walk across. You walk to Niagara Falls, you could walk to the duty free, and you could walk to the Buffalo side, and it was no big deal. And you're in Buffalo, you could just keep going. You know what I mean? Like we're neighbors, big bro and little bro. There's absolutely no reason for this. And I think that if we had that with Mexico and Greenland, I actually think it would help us more than just becoming part of the US. It would help everybody, because I think that if you look at it objectively, Canada would benefit the most out of joining the US. Um, Especially because Trump's saying like our dollar would be recognized one for one. So they would like swap our dollars out for American dollars. Um, that's automatically like a 30% gain.
Okay, but one of the challenges I could see this being a thing is like is immigration, right? So, like we talked on the last show, it's no secret that Canada has had a lot of people come in from other countries, especially countries with brown people like me. Mexico is doing the same thing. We've had a really porous border down south of Mexico.
However, like Canada has said straight up that we fucked up. We let too many in. We fucked up. We gotta shut her down.
The problem for the US is that we have no control over those lands, and so we can't prevent nor stop or do anything proactively to stop these people from coming into those places and then coming right into our border. So if we could send our military into any part of Canada and Mexico, and we could establish like legitimate control over those areas, then no one's getting to the mainland of the United States through borders.
But is this even really a problem? I mean, we have aircraft carriers that patrol the whole planet and have been for the last since World War II. Like we are the policemen of the seas.
It's not that big of an issue. This is why I think the North American Union thing makes the most sense. You come to a consensus on regulation of immigration to the continent. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like there's certain, because once you're in the continent, you could jump on a train and go from fucking Quebec to New York. You know what I'm saying? So everybody has to agree that these are the criteria to get in here at all. And it's got to be one central union database for immigration. I actually think that it's a way better idea, because then we have like where the US gets to train the North American Union uh whatever border patrol agency, right? And then even though they're from all the countries in the union, they're US trained, and they have regulation that is like at least agreed upon by the US, right? Because I don't think that anybody wants to give up like they're Canadian, that they're from Greenland, that like they don't what like nobody wants to be American, bro. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? They don't.
Shit, people in Texas want to be Texan. They don't even want to be American.
They like that they're from these places. You know what I mean? They have this pride. So
I mean, part of me thinks that this whole thing is kind of like a Trump negotiation kind of tactic. You know what I'm saying? Like he does that. He'll be like, "I'm going to slap these massive tariffs if you don't do X, Y, and Z." And that's what Lutnick, his economic or his I guess he's the new labor secretary, but yeah, I mean that's what Lutnick said publicly. He said the quiet part out loud. Like Trump likes to go hard, and then from, and then step back from it as a negotiating tactic. So maybe that's what we're talking about here, is that he doesn't actually want to expand the United States, but if he's threatening to use economic power to basically conquer lands, then that's a chip in the negotiating table, and then he'll ask for that probably. Hey, you can't be hanging out with China. You can't be letting in random ass people. You gotta protect your border. Greenland, you gotta let us patrol as needed, and all this kind of stuff. So I'm not convinced yet that it is truly anything different than what we already do as the United States. And then again, like, people already think of us as an empire and as an imperial force. You know what I'm saying? Because we do that already. We already, wheel and deal with other countries to, get to meet our interests. So I mean, I could see that being the case. Like, hey, either you're going to go insolvent, or you're going to, give us good deals on all that good oil you got up there, and we're going to pipe it down to the United States and blah blah blah. Like, that's what I feel like this whole thing is.
For Greenland, I know it's about like minerals and stuff, right? Because they're like they're rich in rare earth minerals under the ice shelf. So um I know that that's what it's about. And I also know that fucking Don Jr. was in Greenland this week discussing buying Greenland. So I know that they're fucking serious about it. Like, as much as we can fucking make jokes and say, hey, it might, whatever, the motherfuckers are going to the table. You know what I mean? They're bringing offers. I don't know. I don't know if Greenland's seriously entertaining it or not, but I know that they want it. And
Yeah, I mean, well, look, we got Alaska back in the day. 1950. I think that was when we got Alaska.
yeah, but they're gonna give it back to Russia so that they can drill.
Nah, we're giving Alaska back? No way. Not under Trump. No way. No way we're giving Alaska back under Trump.
Look, no, Canada does not receive subsidies from the United States. The confusion often arises from the trade deficit, where Canada exports more goods to the US than it imports.
So Canadians be making shit, and we be taking it.
Well, exactly. Like, and if the United States decided to put tariffs on Canada for exporting to us, like, and we stopped importing those goods, Canada would fall apart. That's kind of the point, right?
I don't know, brother. Like, listen, the fact that you guys import more Canadian goods than we import American goods, I don't know, bro.
Again, I think this is all just a battle for resources.
You make money off of exports. You spend money on imports. That's my point.
Not necessarily. You make money at the source of export, and you pay money at the source of import, but you're importing most likely to make money. So if we're importing less and we can keep the goods in Canada to sell to Canadians, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm not wholly convinced that it would affect us as much as whatever. And again, like, what about the energy? Because that's where it comes from.
I don't think energy is going to be that big a deal, dude. Honestly, the U.S. is sitting on major oil reserves.
Yeah, I mean, my question is, and we'd have to do some research or get somebody on and really knows this stuff. But my question is just, are these trade agreements done as a sort of favor? You know what I'm saying? Like, Canada needs, or not even that. It's like, okay, if the United States doesn't buy Canadian, products, then another country may buy, China may buy Canadian products, or some other country might buy it, or Europe or whatever. And if that's the case, then Canada cozies up to another country more than they would cozy up to the United States, because the United States is not being a good neighbor, a friendly neighbor. But if we're buying a lot of the goods, then it's sort of like this unwritten thing. Like, okay, like we're it's really more of a diplomatic gesture in a way for us to, in a way, have Canada dependent on us, than to have Canada sell to their own people and be this independent nation. And that's kind of what we've always done as the United States. We've always, like, leveraged our power to be able to make other countries dependent on us for things, if, in the effort of peace or whatever. So I don't know. I'm not a geopolitical strategist, so I don't know what the true picture is, but I just wonder if that's more what we do with a lot of countries, is that we're trying to keep the peace. We want them to be happy. We want them to be our ally. So, okay, let's buy their goods and we can do it because we have, you know, enough wealth or whatever, and then that, you know, that maintains the international order. I don't know. I'm just saying that would make sense to me as a strategy, a geopolitical strategy. But I want to go down this list, and I just want to get your guys' feedback. Yay or nay? Greenland. We buying it or we not buying it?
Let's take vast resources. No one's there. Let's bring them fucking. I want to go to Greenland with no worries. It's a U.S. continent. That'd be tight.
All right. So Greenland's ours. Okay, cool. Gulf of America. I mean, I don't know, Fresh. You seem like you're a little hesitant on this one. I'm for it. It costs us nothing.
Like I said, go ahead, bro. I'm for the renaming because again, it's more than half owned, right? I'm not against renaming it. I'm just saying be ready for the wait for the rest of the world to get on board, right? Like,
would it hurt our relationship with Mexico? Would they feel snubbed if we changed it to the Gulf of America? They're not going to keep shipping us mangoes and goods.
I don't know about that. Like, listen, again, bro, like tariffs and stopping trading and all that shit, like it doesn't just affect one country.
I just wanted to touch back on our production of oil. At least you said energy. So the United States is the leader of production of oil, and you guys on the planet. And Canada, we have about 13 million barrels of oil per day we produce, and Canada produces about 5.6 million barrels per day.
I know, but we'll take all the barrels we can get. You know, I want them Canadian barrels. I want our barrels galore. So, listen, I'm telling you, I think that this is just all negotiation tactics, and people shouldn't freak out too much. But getting back to what we're talking about,
we export crude, and you guys take 4.3 million barrels per day.
I know, but we also, the U.S. has transitioned from being a net importer to a net exporter of oil.
But you don't allow anybody else to process it, so we have to sell you the oil. We don't have a choice. You don't get to now put tariffs on it when you've told us now we can't process it ourselves. Like, you guys have those plans.
If it came to it, the United States is self-sufficient on oil production. We could say, fuck everybody, stop sending oil to anybody, and use all of our oil for our own good.
We don't need you to buy it because if we can refine our own oil, then fuck you guys. And the minute you say that, the whole fucking AMC negotiation is right out the fucking window. You know what I mean? And now we don't give a fuck what the US has to say if you guys don't give a fuck about us. It's not as cut and dry, bro.
Okay, so we're taking Greenland. We're renaming it to the Gulf of America. Canada's, I think it's going to be a tough one. Deezy, I think it's going to be a tough nut to crack. I think we leave Canada alone.
No, we got Canada, dude. It's in the book.
I'm just saying, these Canadians, this Canadian right here, give us shit.
Yeah, bro, I told you I would join.
We haven't even talked about the elephant in the room, which is Justin Trudeau just talked about his resignation of Canada as a prime minister. And so, listen, you know, timing is a weird thing, and I don't believe in coincidences anymore. Bring it on. Canada should just say, fuck it. We're gonna hire a governor.
See, you're gonna catch us with our pants down?
It's pretty much perfect time, bro.
Or we get a new prime minister, you're gonna just come and swoop in?
If you don't have a new prime minister by the January 20th,
In 13 days? That's crazy, bro.
that's what I'm saying, dude.
I'm worried for the show now, man. Trump, you're destroying the GOAT show, all right? Causing strife between the co-hosts.
No, make Fresh an American so he can just travel here.
I already said I'm willing to join. I'm willing to join. It's not about that, bro. It's not about being willing to join or not, right? It's like, because again, I think that Canada gains. It's a net positive for Canada.
It's about the pride to fight. God damn it, we can fight this war if we wanted to.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the principle of it.
It is the principle. Like,
You ain't just gonna come take it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't just gonna come take the pussy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if we decide to join you guys, cool. But if you guys think you're gonna steal it, it's not happening.
You got to work for it.
It didn't happen last time, bro. A lot of bodies dropped, a lot of people died. We're still Canada. You know what I mean?
Wants us to wine and dine them. You know, bring them roses, flowers. You got this Jagmeet Singh
Fuck fag meats thing.
guy saying no. You got this Pierre guy saying no. You got Bernier saying no. You got Trudeau saying no. All the Canadian leadership is saying no on both sides of the aisle.
I told you, they're too proud. It doesn't matter, bro. Because before Trudeau, I would have never said to you I would join. Never. Not even a fucking, not a chance.
Put him in a room with Trump. I bet you'd be like, it's in our best interest to just be part of the United States.
Bro, Pierre's already met with Trump before, bro.
Let me answer this fresh. Let's negotiate right now. All right, what would we need to do, me and Deezy, to convince you to become American, give up your citizenship, give up the identity of your country, and become the 51st state?
Bro, we have better law. We have better constitution and law than you anyway, bro. You have better protection.
Deezy, I'm trying to negotiate here, man. You're going too hard, bro. Like
You have everything I want. You have everything I want. What is it? What is it you're gonna do? Tell me what you're gonna do. I already get to have guns and stuff, bro. I'm good. Like, I just help me get across the border. You don't have to take all of Canada. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
listen. You ain't got no constitution. You ain't got no U.S. You ain't got no Bill of Rights. You ain't got no Declaration of Independence. You get to say all men are whatever, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. All right, you get to, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty dope. You ain't got that. It's pretty special. What else? What else? You get to come across the border whenever you feel like, old school times. You can just come right on across. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go through
There is no border.
no more border. It's just a state line. You get to cross it whenever you want. Okay?
You convinced me, bro. I'm staying as Canada.
No.
Bro, I told you from the beginning I would join, and you convinced me out of it. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Fine, we'll have to take it by force then, Deezy. Listen, we tried the nice way. Now we're just gonna have to fucking invade. All right.
Send in SEAL Team 6.
7, 8, 9, and 10. Send them all in.
Oh man. All right. We'll get Canada eventually. I think I have hope. We'll figure it out. We'll negotiate it.
Bro, just make a fucking North American Union. Leave everybody as they are. Because, again, why do you want, like, majority of these people who join to not want to be part of your country? Like, they don't want to be Americans. They're never going to say they're Americans. They're going to be like, no, I'm Canadian. Doesn't matter if you change the name, I'm Canadian.
There might be Canadian insurgents if we do this, Deezy.
100%.
That's whatever. We'll deal with them. They become terrorists.
Then what's the point of it?
We're going imperialistic. We're going authoritarian. We're doing it all.
I'm done. I'm tired of this. The maple syrup prices have gotten too high.
Bro, the whole point was that you guys didn't want it, bro.
The syrup prices have gotten too high.
You guys couldn't take it, bro.
We're coming. We're taking it all, dude.
It's right.
That's it.
Who are you going to send in? Some Minnesotans, bro? It's too cold for you pussies, bro. The only guys who could do it is maybe some guys from Fargo.
I'm so happy we're making this because I'm going to save this video to my computer. And when Canada is the great 51st state of America, I'm going to clip the fuck out of this. I'm going to clip this so hard.
I bet you it doesn't become it by force. Not physical force. Maybe economic, but not physical.
No, we'll never go to actual war with each other. Why would we do that? We got bigger enemies, bigger fish to fry. But
listen, we'll come to a deal. That's what Trump's good at, getting these deals. We'll figure out a deal. We'll figure out something.
He already fired Trudeau.
Trudeau's gone.
Yo, that wasn't. I don't think that's a good deal, G. I actually think that's gonna backfire.
What, getting Trudeau out?
Yeah, it's because it doesn't call a federal election now. He's resigning as the party leader, which means that the party gets to elect a new leader. So now we're gonna have a fucking prime minister that we didn't even really vote for, and like, because we, as a country, we voted for that queer.
What if the guy that comes in is just super based?
Might be dope.
All about that bass, no trouble.
I mean, Wayne Gretzky, his name was being floated out there as the governor of the 51st state. So, what about Wayne?
Oh shit, bro. Yo, if that happens, I can't sell my Wayne Gretzky cards, bro. Those cards are gonna be worth fucking so much money, bro. Can you imagine?
Bro, if Wayne Gretzky is the governor of Canada as the 51st state, I'm because I'll know I'm in a simulation, bro. I will know. There is no way.
Don't do that. No, you'll be proud, man.
Elon Musk said, he said that the most entertaining outcome is the most likely outcome. So
Sing with me, and I'm proud to be an American. Da, 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 da. All right, let's move on. I'm sick of Canada already. Already sick of Canada. I mean, we taking Mexico? I think we should. Fuck it. Let's take Mexico.
they got a problem on their hands that they need some American fucking muscle to deal with, bro.
They do. They do. They got these cartels, child trafficking and shit. Let's get in there. Get in there, get her done, take her back. All right. We're taking Mexico.
If you don't stop the fentanyl coming through our borders, that's it. We're coming.
We're taking Tijuana, baby.
Yeah, Mexico, stop the Chinese fentanyl.
Okay. So that's a negotiating tactic. If they don't do what we say, we're going to just take them over and we'll get the cartels to produce drugs for us for profit. There we go. Then we don't got to worry about the cartels anymore. See, deals.
Put good cocaine back on the streets again. Make cocaine safe again.
Is that what the US has to do? Become a drug cartel?
We already are a drug cartel.
No, like an open market, like open drug cartel, like selling cocaine worldwide.
The CIA.
No, but like openly. Openly.
Oh,
I'm going to say it. All drugs should be legal in the free market.
I agree.
All of them. All of them.
We'd have safer drugs now.
all drugs.
Yes.
All drugs.
You got to think about it like this. What if Apple Computer got in the business of drugs? What kind of drugs do they make? Or Tesla?
Yeah, exactly. What if Apple, like, how do you think we get to the limitless drug? You let Tesla make drugs.
Yeah, why do Neuralink when you can just take a pill? But Elon can't make that pill because everything's so regulated and the FDA will come after him.
Bro, FDA, FAA, they all need to go. We need personalized flight and limitless pills.
Bro, if we had legalized drugs, I'd be getting that Ibogaine right now.
Listen, biochem is my thing, and at least I can rely on the drugs to do what I know they're gonna do when I do them, right? So I don't know about all this. I like the pharmaceutical industry for the aspect of quality control. And if you get something prescribed to you, it is exactly what it is, 100%.
But you can still have that without regulating what we're allowed to make.
Like, listen. I was trying to find some like Ass Fresh, that what was that I got? That testosterone booster supplement or whatever.
Shilajit.
Shilajit. I mean, I go on Amazon. There's 50,000 people that have reviewed one Shilajit. Hey, none of them died. So I'm gonna grab that Shilajit. Who's to say that you couldn't have the same for any other type of drug? I'm just saying.
But that's like, what the Shilajit's just what, a fucking leaf of a plant or a shrub?
Well, it doesn't matter. Motherfuckers die every day, B. If you take the fucking drug, you might die, bro. That's the chance if you take any fucking drug. Even if the drug is regulated, like there are people that take a normal dose of Tylenol and never wake up. You know what I'm trying to say? So what the fuck did the FDA do about that?
All right. Where I draw the line is it needs to be as close as to natural as possible. So if you're trying to do fucking crack, you need some fucking opium,
Get
bro.
your Nazi ass the fuck out of my
bro.
fucking business, bro.
Listen. Before
Look at the fucking DDA, bro, the Deezy Drug Association. Get
God.
the fuck out of here, bro.
The synthetic opioids are literally the root cause of the problem. Cocaine was the best thing versus fucking codones of any kind.
Okay, but the FDA stops us from figuring out how to get that effect without the fucking uh the addiction because they want you addicted. If I was able to figure it out, we would be able to take what's that shit, bro? Um the shit that Kanye does, kratom and mix it with some other shit and then come up with, you know what I'm trying to say, and come up with something that maybe doesn't give you an addictive effect but gives you more of this, like, bro, again, this is, your argument is actually against the FDA, not for it.
Just in general, principally in a free market, the reason that free markets are great is that there's no limits, sure, to the experimentation and creation of products and goods and services, but there's also no limits to competition. So if somebody does create something and it's not good, and it's clear that it's not good, it's not going to thrive. People aren't going to buy that product because there's going to be a bunch of other competitors that can come in and are going to innovate on it, or they're going to figure out new ways. And it was like that in the United States until the whole, I think it was the whole Flexner report thing, where they started making allopathic medicine the dominant form of official medicine in the United States. So basically, essentially, there was the allopathic, there's homeopathic, and there's allopathic. And in the late 1800s, the doctors that were allopathic started using the government to try and make it so that, okay, only the allopathic doctors are considered actual doctors, and only they can practice medicine. So there's a lot of government influence in all kinds of medical things, and it's done under the idea of protectionism. But a market is a market. So I understand, like, people may die from trying things, but the thing is that, like, look, if I go on Amazon and I see 5 reviews for something, they may be 5 stars, but if only 5 people have liked that thing, I'm gonna be like, I'm going to look for the review of the thing that's got 50,000 reviews, and it's got 5 stars. So I understand what you're saying to you. I'm not saying, I mean, realistically, I think realistic also what would happen is you would have different agencies that are private that would also be, checking these things. So just like when you go to the store and you see on a food product, non-GMO, you know what I'm saying? And there's different agencies, like if you look at a Walmart product and it says non-GMO, you're like, is it really non-GMO? Or you go to, Erewhon, you see non-GMO from this independent thing. Like, you're going to make a decision based on, what these organizations have already figured out, as to whether you want to take those products or not. So I think, I know we're going way off track here with the drug thing, but I think it's like, the solutions that will be created by a free market often are the things that you can't predict. You know what I'm saying? You can't say in advance, like, oh, there will be, if there's a need in the market for safeguards against bad drugs that are going to kill you, like, somebody will create that business and will, and in a free market, when there's no government favoritism and you have to function by your reputation, you behave better. You have a reputation matters a lot in a free market. If everybody can make anything at any time, you're going to be like, I want to find something that I think is really actually, genuine. Kind of like what's happening in information and X and all that kind of stuff right now. It's like, people want information and they're going to alternative sources because they feel like it's more trustworthy and that they're talking about real shit. You know what I'm saying? Whereas before, all the government controlled all the airwaves and all this, the FCC and all this kind of shit. And so you had a very, like, limited, Overton window of what you could and couldn't talk about and what was allowed and all that. And now, the internet's blown that wide open. So, that's my TED talk. Appreciate you guys. Make all drugs legal.
I just think that there should be certain drugs that are classified as not, and they can't be used recreationally. Like fentanyl is one of those things, bro. Like, it's such a small amount.
Why do you get to decide that though?
Well, I'm just saying that it takes such a small amount to actually kill somebody. Like, nobody should be taking that drug. It's not even necessarily made. It's used to kill people. It's probably used for, like, when you want to kill yourself in fucking at the end of life treatment or some shit, right? Like, to put people out.
So I see what you're saying, and and my rebuttal to that would be, like, you don't regulate it, because in a free market that shit would flush itself out. It would kill too many people and nobody would be making it because the money would be in something else. You know what I mean? So I don't know, like, because again, how for every one guy in San Francisco hanging doing the fucking the fentanyl hang, that gives fentanyl a 5-star review, how many motherfuckers would give it a 0-star review because it killed their cousin? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that the point of that is like maybe those people didn't know that they were taking fentanyl, and it has come into the States as other things. Like we get fake pressed pills, or you get cocaine that has fentanyl in it, or and now people are taking it that didn't intend on taking it, and they shouldn't have been taking it to begin with. So if you made all the other drugs legal, like there really isn't there is no reason to have fentanyl legal. Like it shouldn't be used. It shouldn't even be hardly used in a hospital setting. Like, it's so deadly and toxic.
I would say two things. The first thing is kind of what I was saying before. Just because there's no FDA or there's no government agency that's supposedly supposed to be, regulating these controlled substances and making sure they're safe and all that stuff, which is not the case. I mean, for many, I'm not gonna say who, but someone I knew for many years took an asthma medication that ended up being like a very it turned out it was killing people and it was a deadly medication. It was approved by the FDA. If you look at COVID and the vaccine, I mean, and all these different things, like different agencies of the government have been approving things that aren't necessarily may not be the best thing for people. I just think that in a society where I guess what I'm saying is that whatever, if there's no FDA, if there's no regulatory agency, there will be private actors that will serve that role to be able to look at products, evaluate them, and inform people as to whether they're deadly or not, whether they're what the real effects are, and their interest is not going to be in like some small group trying to do whatever. It's going to be to serve their customers, in a real society.
That's gonna be artificial intelligence, bro. I think that's gonna be the thing.
Right, right. So there you go. I mean, like that's an example.
I think it's gonna have an unbiased, like, "Hey, this should never be taken by a human. It's almost guaranteed to kill you."
Yeah, and you probably would have devices. Like right now, I don't know if it's like you could probably have some kind of device or something that could detect if there's, agents in something that you're taking that are deadly or whatever.
There's, like, drug test strips and shit that people can use if they're, like, safe about the way that they do their drugs, but no one's doing that.
Yeah, but we're talking about taking a piece of your drug and putting it in a liquid, and if it turns the right color, right? But like,
Something that's more scientific, like,
just saying, like, say if for example, how like a grain of sand worth of fentanyl, if the fentanyl is pure, would kill you.
yeah, you might not get it in your sample.
Yeah, so then you scratch the side of it, but it's in the middle.
Yeah.
And you still die. You scratched it, it sampled, it was good, and then you still die. So like, but this is the thing, is because of things like the FDA, you don't get people making drug detection devices, and you know what I mean? Because again, that's got to be done through a regulatory body that now you've got to pay all these fees and all these follow all these guidelines. And
In a market, wherever there's a need, entrepreneurs will fill that need. And if there's a need for making sure that whatever you're taking is not poison, that it's whatever, then entrepreneurs, that's a market that exists. Entrepreneurs will start innovating in that market and finding really cool ways to solve that problem. But if there's no incentive in the market for those items, then entrepreneurs aren't going to enter that. You know what I'm saying? So that would be my, I think we should put a period on the sentence, but like the argument for not regulating drugs is not that, okay, everybody's going to take the kind of drugs we have now. What it means is that, okay, in terms of making sure drugs are safe, or I mean, drugs is such a weird word of a connotation. Any product, right? The incentive would be that there will be entrepreneurs who will figure out ways to make sure that products are safe. But it's still your decision. If you want to take a dangerous product, well, hey, that's up to you. I can go get Clorox and drink it right now if I want. I'm not going to do that because I know it's going to suck. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it is. And I think in a free society, yeah, some people will make bad decisions or decisions that are not in their interest. But there will be a market for anybody who wants to be able to have products that are clean, that are safe. It's already kind of happening in food and shampoo and all this shit already. And there's no agency regulating. I mean, I guess there is actually agencies that regulate safe chemicals and products, and we all look at that and go like, this is all bullshit. Like, they've been fucking up for years.
But a lot of those things are fucking private organizations too, like proving that you don't test on animals. The people who do that shit for shampoo, that's a private company, bro. The government doesn't care if you test on fucking animals. That's a customer care thing. Like, you know what I mean?
So we're canceling our next episode for the Tide Pod Challenge.
Hey, as long as somebody has looked at it and determined it to be safe and not harmful, fuck it, let's eat it. Man, we kind of went a little bit of tangent there, but that's cool. Really cool conversation on all this. But we got to get back to the task at hand. So Mexico, we'll take over Mexico. We'll turn the cartels legit. We're good. Okay, we're good on Mexico. Some people say some other countries are coming up as well. You know, Australia, New Zealand. So
Take it.
I'm gonna ask you guys, take it.
Take it. Fuck those guys. Take it.
Well, let me ask you guys, what countries do you want to join the great empire, the North American colonies?
Bro, I want the US to do what Genghis Khan never could. I want it all to be the US, bro. If we're gonna go there,
You just said that it goes against, that's like globalism. That's what you don't want.
no, it's imperialism. You've convinced me. You got me on board. But listen, I don't half-ass anything. You know this. We're taking it all. We'll stop at the Great Wall of China. We'll let China stay China. We'll let Russia stay Russia, and we'll just have everything else, okay?
Now that you're saying it like that, I'm not sure.
The great planet of America.
Hold your horses, all right? Like, now I'm not so sure, okay? Because a lot of people on X have been saying this. They're like, wait a minute. We voted for Trump because we thought America first. Now it's turning into North America first. Now it's turning into, they feel like it's Revelations. They feel like it's Club of Rome. They feel like this is what Aaron Russo talked about back in 2007, that they were going to create the North American Union, and it was going to be open borders and all this stuff. And it looks like it's coming true. So what happened? I thought it was America first.
Bro, how's that not America first? They're trying to take it all for America.
If we secure more land, more resources, and cut down on trade deficits with people that are no longer another country because they're part of America, that is America first, bro. Eliminate that shit. Provide free travel. Give Americans the true experience of freedom, where we can travel almost anywhere on this side of the world, from Canada down to the tip of Mexico, even to the Panama Canal.
To Greenland. Because Greenland's also North America, right?
I mean, you're telling me I can take a freaking what's that thing Elon wanted to build? Hyperloop.
Imagine Elon got in his ear, bro, and he's like, look, we can make a fucking train from Greenland to Mexico.
Right. That's what I was saying.
And he's like, shit, bro, we need all that land. We need all that land. How are we going to do this?
So I can Hyperloop from fucking what's it called? Puerto Vallarta to Nova Scotia direct.
That's wild.
4 hours, bro. 3 hours.
Not even.
With stops.
Well, if you get the express.
This is the thing. You've got to have multiple tracks because you got to have stops, but you've also got to have express. You know what I mean? So you got to have like 20 tunnels.
Right. You can do the scenic route, or I mean, you could even do Puerto Vallarta to Seattle, or no, to Vancouver, and then take Hyperloop from Vancouver to Quebec, and then take Quebec to Greenland.
Bro, but here's the crazy thing. It doesn't matter. The scenic route is whatever you want it to be. This is a Tesla train we're talking about. You can make it look like you're looking at Banff River, and you're under the sea.
Put virtual screens in the Hyperloop.
That they will have that. They will absolutely have that. Yes.
Absolutely.
So when you're going underground through freaking Kansas, you can see what Kansas above ground looks like, is what you're saying.
That would be tight.
Or whatever, because I'm sure you're going to be able to pay for private cabins. And so It's going to be whatever you pick. You could probably pick space.
Okay, but then we're getting away from why we need to conquer all this land in North America. Because I want to see the real thing. All right, I don't want to see virtual holograms like we saw at CES. I want to see some real land. You know what I'm saying?
Well, when you're riding the trains, bro, you're gonna be underground. It's the safest way to get you from A to B.
And that's probably why they need it. I bet you, like, now that you say it, I bet you that's what it is.
They coming at us from the underground, is what you're saying. These Chinese, these Iranians be digging these underground tunnels.
The mole people?
Hey, yo. But what do you think? You think this is like some fucking Revelations Club of Rome shit?
Okay, so there's two different thoughts on what's going on. Okay, one thought is that this is some globalist new world order. You know, we got the wool pulled over our eyes or whatever type of stuff. Trump's the Antichrist. He's emperor of the world, and he's about to take everything over. That's the first thought on all this. Okay, the second thought is kind of what Deezy's saying, but this is a line of thought that Peter Zeihan. So anybody who doesn't know who he is, we'll put him in the show notes. He has a YouTube channel. I first saw him on Rogan, and he's been saying for the last, I don't know, a couple of years, a very contrarian position to what everybody else is saying. Everybody, all these Ray Dalios out there be saying that the U.S. is done. It's the rise of China, blah, blah, blah. And Peter Zeihan's basically saying, no. China's about to collapse. That one-child policy is about to rear its ugly head. They have a lot of old people and not a lot of young people. The entire manufacturing base is going to take a big hit. And because of that, what's actually going to happen is deglobalization. He's saying that, which is pretty much what's happening now, what Trump's talking about, that all the parts of the world are going to start going their own way. You know, MGTOW, you know, MAGA going its own way. That's what he's saying. He's saying that the only reason we had globalism was because we were fighting the Soviets back in the day. The whole point of globalism was to fight them and to maintain control of the oceans. And because Americans, there were a lot more Americans, okay, and we were a consumer society and we were buying all this shit. You know, it made sense. Okay, like let other people make the shit. We buy the shit. It's a diplomacy tactic. It's a way to get the world, being dependent on each other. And because we're all dependent on each other, we're going to play nice. We're not going to start wars. We're not going to do crazy shit. But because of population collapse, that whole thing breaks down. So the smarter move, he's saying, is we go into our own continent, North America. Mexico becomes our new China, where it produces all the goods. And we just live as a happy little three-country, the threesome right here, and fuck the rest of the world. And the rest of the world can figure that shit out. That's what he's saying. So it kind of looks like it might be what Peter's saying, which is that, okay, unite North America, have an agreement amongst us to, Mexico produces shit. So we got our China that makes all the stuff. And then Canada produces the oil, whatever. And then the United States continues to be the consumer and living that good lifestyle. We grab a little Greenland here. We make sure the Panama Canal is not getting compromised. And that's it. And then we keep to ourselves. And the rest of the world has to figure out their own situation and figure out how to survive. And our enemies are vanquished as a result.
Well, again, like that's what I think is the route forward, right? Like I guess that would be his plan, is to like kind of isolate us. I didn't really see it as like an isolation until now, but like yeah, because again, I think that it makes the most sense, right? The union. Now, I don't know, does that mean that like we change the names of countries? Probably not. You know what I mean? But I could see that, like, now that you're saying, like, Mexico being the production, and you know what I mean? We could kind of, as long as we stay tight, we could do it all in-house.
That's a perfect way to say it. We do it in house. All right. No more outside influence. Everything's in house. But in order to make sure that's done in house, we all got to be tight. We can't be having no Chinese influence on Mexico. We can't be having no Russian influence on Greenland or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and this is where you get, like, gotta be tight on immigration.
North American Federation, NAF.
I like it. I like it. But again, you got to be tight on immigration because it's not that you can't have immigration. It's just that, like, bro, growing up, we wanted your best and brightest. And then all of a sudden it became send us your deaf, lame, and dumb.
And then the borders just become like still security checkpoints in the middles of the country. Like they don't need to change or be like you still drive through them normal. They still check where you're from. You know, hey, oh, you're a citizen of Mexico, tight, come on in. You're a citizen of Canada, whatever, welcome in.
You just check your fucking your license. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you're a felon and you're on the run or something, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, shouldn't just be letting you fucking do whatever you want.
Right. Merge all the databases, all the information.
Absolutely. Have a union database. Exactly. And you know what? Again, the more that I think about it, I think that it's actually less government. It becomes less government when you do it that way because you need less hands in the pot.
So I think that because I get nervous, I do get nervous when I hear about gigantic alliances between nations where, you know, and I get nervous with imperials. I'm a decentralist, man. I want freaking every city to be like a freaking Italian, you know, city state. You know what I'm saying? And do your own thing and compete with one another and all that kind of stuff. I don't want big imperialistic empire country.
In order to get there, you have to go here.
Mm.
In order to get to where every state is its own country, you have to eliminate the countries in the continent. In the continent, not in the world, right? Like we're still separated from South America and the rest of the countries. Greenland's just an extra thing we want because we pay for it anyway, probably, I'm sure. Um, so it's like if you want to get to city states, you got to get rid of the huge sovereign like separation between boundaries, right? Then you'll have Toronto city state. Like I'm in the Arizona city state and the California city state, and it's already like that in the US. If you really think about it that way, like my laws in Arizona are so drastically different than if I just go an hour and a half across the border to California. Like the laws here in Arizona are hugely different. So we're almost living a different life and a different world just based on the state that we live in a lot of sense. So it's like we're already almost there, and Canada is just living a parallel life to us, and it's like why would we prevent all of us from just being the superpower of the world? And Mexico's got a lot of people, got a lot of fucking value too.
I'll be honest with you, I also see some value in some of the states and provinces merging, like, and it's not necessarily like, or again, like just not having that border between them, right? Like, um, could help the industry of those places. Not having that divisive line where like we don't get to go just right there for work or for whatever.
We would have to. So I could see this being. It's one of those things with Trump. Like it's kind of hard to say because he does things, and then you're like, you know, maybe he's going the way of evil. But and same with Elon, by the way. You know, I mean, this guy's building Neuralink. It's like, that could be great and an amazing thing for humanity, or it could be the worst thing ever, right? I think that like if they do what they said they were going to do, which is drastically reduce the bureaucracy of the federal government, like really in a huge way. If they can get rid of that bureaucracy so that it gives more power to the states and more power to places, then expanding out where you have an alliance where we're all aligned, like Mexico's in our corner, all right? They know their role. They're happy to play it. You know what I'm saying? They're doing the things that they're supposed to do because they believe in protecting the North American continent and you know they're making pretty good out on this deal with us. And then same with Canada, you know, like Canada's making out good. Canada's in our corner. Canada isn't entertaining these CCP, you know, people. Same in Mexico. If we can get to that place and then we're aligned as countries and we're tight, we're homies, then it's not bad. It'd be a great thing. We actually would be more sufficient. wouldn't be dependent on the rest of the world, and we could, and then you could still be America first in the United States. It's still in service to Americans, and the American people, and bringing prosperity.
If everyone benefits, like rising tides raise all ships. So again, if we make all three of our economies boom, or four, including Greenland, and anybody who's part of North America, bro, you know what I mean? Listen, I'll be honest with you. I think if he does it, he'll probably try for another term, right? Can he have another term?
I mean, I don't know we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
If he can have another term, he'll take South America too.
He'll take another term if he can have it. It's just a question of,
if he can unite North America, he'll unite us with South America too at some point, or try it. I think.
I don't know if that's a good thing, but I mean, we got to take. I will say this though, we got to take a few more countries. We got to take Cuba. We got to take Honduras. We got to take Dominican Republic. You know what I'm saying? We got to take all those island nations in the Gulf. We might got to take Belize.
Do you take the DR and leave Haiti?
I don't know. What do you think? We take Haiti?
Yeah, you got to take Haiti too.
You got to take Haiti too. What do you think, Deezy? We taking Haiti? We taking all the island nations?
We might as well, while we're at it.
I mean, maybe that's why we got that Rubio as Secretary of State.
We're going to stop the Clinton Foundation from smuggling small Haitian children out of the country, then we should probably take it over. Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry if I get suicided tonight.
God damn it, Deezy. Now you're going to make them kill yourself.
All right. Well, this is very early. We don't know what's going to happen. But I will say it's only been 7 days in this year, and shit is fucking wild. We got drones. We got freaking, cyber trucks blowing up fucking, whistleblowers, and it's all crazy. We're taking land, we're bringing back imperialism, making imperialism great again is what we're doing.
I just wanted to follow up the end of this by the only way Trump could serve as another term is if the amendment were to be repealed or modified by future constitutional amendments, which require 2/3 majority from both the House and Congress and ratification by 3/4 of the states. So that's a significant vote.
I'm just going to say, if this guy takes over the world, that constitution is going to mean jack. It's going to be the fucking constitution of Trump. He's going to write his own constitution. You're all entitled to my opinion. Suck my dick.
All right. Well, I don't know what's going to happen. My hope is that, the federal government crumbles and we turn into, city states that are aligned in our interests. That's my personal feeling. But, if that doesn't happen, then I guess we'll just have to go for world empire. I'd like to toast the new citizens of the United States of North America. My Mexican friends, my Canadian friends, fresh here. Welcome to America. Glad to have you as an American.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I can't wait till you could just take a direct flight down here to AZ or fucking, yeah, dude.
Bro, I'm telling you, the minute that they're like, Canada's part of the USA, I'm getting in my car and I'm just driving. I'm just out of here. Shoot. Gone, bro. Later.
Shit. Well, they're definitely not going to let the southern border be all good in the hood. I think that would probably cause some problems. But yeah, Canada.
I mean, if you're coming to visit with your license, at least you're documented.
True.
Right.
They could document.
If you're coming through the border with your license, they got your fucking license plate on camera. They got you on camera. They got your license on camera. You have been taken account of going in and out of the country. You're fine.
Yep. Yeah.
Cool with that.
Okay. I'm down with that.
Bro, but Mexico City is like one of the most advanced cities in the world.
We just got to legalize drugs, make the cartels legit, and we'll be good. So toast to the cartels and the future of drugs in the United States. Cheers to you. You're the new interview.
I can't toast the cartels, but
wait.
Toast to the cartels, bro.
Legalize it. You know what I'm saying?
Stop selling that fentanyl, bro. Stop that shit, bro. No.
Yo, you know, it's not the cartels, man.
But it's some of them.
Not
It's
really,
a branch.
bro.
The
It's
Chinese,
a
man.
branch of
Problem
people.
is that it's China bringing it into Mexico, then smuggling it over the Mexican border, brother. Like
Right.
maybe
That's true.
maybe the cartels are helping them smuggle it. I'm
Smuggling it.
not gonna say that, but like again, it's
All right,
not the
listen.
same thing as production where they were producing the cocaine, bro. Go back to producing solid cocaine again, bro. We need that fucking, you know?
Look, stop shipping in. Listen, cartel. Stop shipping in that bad Fenny. All right. Don't do that anymore. Become above board and become the Cali pharmaceutical company, and we'll go from there.
Send me that Rick James booger sugar, baby.